While Star Trek Generations proved to be a modest hit at the box office, doing a little well, and for putting the next generation cast on the movie scene, they got themselves another film which did even better and got a good response. And they are encountering one of their biggest nemesis, the Borg. So prepare yourselves as I review Star Trek First Contact. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dwalt, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1996 sci-fi flick Star Trek First Contact, released by Paramount, directed by Jonathan Frakes, Commander William Riker himself, in his feature film debut. This is the 8th movie of the Star Trek franchise and second starring the cast of the recent hit series Star Trek The Next Generation. This time around, the crew of the Starship Enterprise E traveled back in time from the 24th century to the 21st century to stop the cybernetic Borg from conquering Earth by changing the past. The film was released on November 22nd, 1996, and did very well and what have you. So, I will say it was really good. The story was written by Brandon Braga and Ronald D. Moore, who co-wrote the story with Rick Berman. After the release of the previous film, they began to work on this and wanted to feature the Borg in the plot. So apparently, the writers combined two ideas. They initially set the film in Renaissance Italy, but changed the time period that the Borg corrupted to the mid 21st century. And after fearing the Renaissance idea would feel kitschy. Yes, because producer Berman wanted a story involving time travel. Anyway, after two better known directors turned down the job, cast member Jonathan Frakes was chosen to direct to make sure the task fell to someone who understood Star Trek. And I think they made a good decision. So, let's get into the story. In the 24th century, Captain Jean-Luc Picard awakens from a nightmare in which he relives his assimilation by the cybernetic Borg 6 years earlier. He is contacted by Starfleet, who inform him of a new Borg threat against Earth. Picard's orders are for his ship, USS Enterprise, to patrol the neutral zone in case of Romulan aggression. Starfleet is worried that Picard is too emotionally involved with the Borg to join the fight. Learning the fleet is losing the battle, the Enterprise crew disobeys orders and heads for Earth, where a single Borg cube ship holds its own against a group of Starfleet vessels. Enterprise arrives in time to assist the crew of USS Defiant and its commander, the Klingon Worf. Picard takes control of the fleet and directs the surviving ships to concentrate that firepower on a seemingly unimportant point on the Borg ship. The cube launches a smaller spherical ship towards Earth before being destroyed. Enterprise pursues the sphere into a temporal vortex. As the sphere disappears, Enterprise discovers Earth has been altered. It is now populated by Borg. Realizing the Borg have used time travel to change the past, Enterprise follows the sphere through the vortex. Enterprise arrives hundreds of years in the past on April 4th, 2063, the day before the historic warp drive flight that leads to humanity's first encounter with alien life. The crew realizes the Borg are trying to prevent first contact and assimilate humanity while the planet is recovering from a devastating war. After destroying the Borg sphere, an away team transports down to Zefram Cochrane's warp ship Phoenix in Bozeman, Montana. Picard has Cochrane's assistant Lily Sloan sent back to Enterprise for medical attention. The captain returns to the ship and leaves Commander William T. Riker on Earth to make sure Phoenix's flight proceeds as planned. while in the future, Cochrane is seen as a hero. In reality, he built the Phoenix for financial gain and is reluctant to be the historic figure the crew describes. A group of Borg invade Enterprise's lower decks, assimilating some of the crew and modifying the ship. Picard and a team attempt to reach engineering to disable the Borg with a corrosive gas, while forced back, the android Data is captured in the melee. Afrayan Lily corners Picard with a weapon, but he gains her trust. The two escape the Borg infested area of the ship by creating a diversion in the holodeck. Picard, Worf, and the ship's navigator, Lieutenant Hawk, travel outside the ship in spacesuits to stop the Borg from using the navigational deflector to call for reinforcements, but Hawk is assimilated in the process. As the Borg assimilate more decks, Worf suggests destroying the ship, but Picard angrily calls him a coward. Lily confronts the captain and makes him realize he is acting irrationally because of his own past with the Borg. Picard apologizes to Worf and orders the activation of the ship's self-destruct and evacuation of the crew to escape pods, while he stays behind to rescue Data. Now for the ending, you know the procedure. 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. As Cochrane, Riker, and engineer Joy LaForge prepare to activate the warp drive on Phoenix, Picard discovers that the Borg Queen has grafted human skin on Data, giving him the sensation of touch he has long desired so that he can obtain the android's encryption codes to the Enterprise computer. Although Picard offers himself to the Borg in exchange for Data's freedom, Data refuses to leave, deactivates the self-destruct, and fires torpedoes at Phoenix. At the last moment, the torpedoes miss and the Queen realizes Data deceived her. The android ruptures a coolant tank, and the corrosive vapor eats away the biological components of the Borg as well as Data's new skin. With the Borg threat neutralized, Cochrane completes his warp flight. Later that night, the crew watches from a distance as an alien Vulcan ship, attracted by the Phoenix warp test, lands on Earth. Cochrane greets the aliens, having ensured the correction of the timeline. Picard bids Lily farewell, and the Enterprise crew slip away and return to the 24th century. End of story. So, what did I think of Star Trek First Contact? Well, I've seen it a few times, and I'm going to say this is probably the best of the Star Trek The Next Generation cast films of them all. It did a little better than the last film. It went on to make $146 million worldwide against its $45 million budget. It got good reviews. It was mostly positive. Roger Ebert considered it to be one of the best Star Trek films. But the Borg and the special effects were lauded, while characterization was less evenly received. Anyway, the film sits at 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying while fans of the series will surely appreciate it, First Contact is exciting, engaging, and visually appealing enough to entertain Star Trek novices. Affirmative, definitely. CinemaScore gave this a grade of an A-. The Independent considered the film wise to dispense with the cast of the original series. For the first time, a Star Trek movie actually looks like something more ambitious than an extended TV show. Yes. The Globe and Mail said that the film succeeded in improving on the stilted previous entry in the series and that it featured a renewed interest in storytelling. The LA Times wrote, First Contact does everything you'd want a Star Trek film to do, and it does with cheerfulness and style. The New York Times thought that the film's convoluted plot would boggle all but hardcore devotees of the series. However, while Variety said that the film did not require intimate knowledge of the series and that fans and non-fans alike would enjoy the film. Anyway, yes. I feel like this is, but even so, that's just most people's opinions. But I really thought this was easily the best film with the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation. A couple of years later, there would be another film in Star Trek Insurrection, released in 1998. Now, I was going to review that along with the last film of the series, Star Trek Nemesis, but however, I've postponed those. Those reviews of those will be on hold until further notice, till I can find a new date for it. Because I put, well, a couple other films in the way, which would be the remake of Journey to the Center of the Earth and Journey to the Mysterious Island, which will be coming up later on next week. Nevertheless, I found it to be good, especially when they brought Jerry Goldsmith on board to do the score. And of course, it included his Star Trek The Motion Picture theme song, which of course would be the theme to Star Trek The Next Generation. And I will say it is definitely really good. I liked Star Trek First Contact and what I had to offer. The story wasn't too bad. I liked the direction Jonathan Frakes took it in. As for his performance as Commander Riker again, he's still good. As for Patrick Stewart's Jean-Luc Picard, I will say he's still good as well. For the rest of the cast, now of course we have LeVar Burton once again as Geordi LaForge. He's still good. Michael Dorn as Worf, still good. Gates McFadden as Beverly Crusher, still good. And Marina Sirtis as Deanna Troi. She's still good too. Now for the rest of the characters we have and cast, we have Alfre Woodard as Lily Sloan. She wasn't too bad. James Cromwell played Zefram Cochrane. I'm gonna say he was good. Kind of funny though at times, but still pretty good though. And Alice Krige played the Borg Queen. I will say definitely. But anyway, that's about it. But oh yeah. Now some recurring characters from Next Generation actually appeared, including Pai Yasutake as Nurse Elisa Ogawa briefly appeared, and Dwight Schultz, who most people remember from the A-Team as Howlin' Mad Murdoch as Lieutenant Reginald Barclay. Anyway, and let's see, Michael Horan appears as a Starfleet security officer. His character was given the name Lieutenant Daniels in the next film. And Neil McDonough plays Hawk. I'm going to say, so those were pretty good too. So, anyway, the cast is pretty good too. So, overall, I thought Star Trek First Contact was superb. Bit better than the last film, but hey, you want to take my word for it. No pun intended, as of course, that's what LeVar Burton says on Reading Rainbow. But overall, it was a good movie. And as I've said, I consider this to probably be the best of the Star Trek The Next Generation cast group's films. So would I recommend it? I would say hell yeah, go for it. This is a film worth looking into, especially if you want, or you can just give it one time watch if you wish. If you are a hardcore completionist or a big time Star Trek fan. So, what did you think of Star Trek First Contact? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, and make the views grow. And join me next time when I'll be bringing to you the first of a big, almost full week of anniversaries. And I'll be starting off with a review of Time Cop. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these others in the Star Trek series. In the upper left-hand corner is the TV log on Star Trek The Next Generation. The upper right-hand corner is my recent review of the previous Star Trek film, Star Trek Generations. Or if you would like, check out my review of the second original Star Trek film, The Wrath of Khan. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. And keep telling your friends about my channel and maybe get them to know me and subscribe. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.